Pure Necessity Revolution at Warwick, the local experience of the late 18th century brought to light. Thank you for your interest. I'm honored to receive this award and to tell you about our project and the book that resulted from it. The title is taken from a letter of Warwick's Colonel John Hathorn to George Clinton in late December 1776. Hathorn was commander of the 4th Orange County Regiment of Militia, and his men serving along the Hudson were suffering terribly, in crisis, and threatening to leave their posts. Having just heard that relief was on its way, Hathorn noted their new resolve. "I am well persuaded that nothing will be able to move people but pure necessity." The goals of our 20-year project were to examine the oral traditions and few known facts about the local scene, to discover and highlight the contributions of John Hathorn, a largely forgotten founding father, to find the true story of our local founding veterans, and by showing their activities and events here, and what was happening with the families and the local scene, to recover the relevance of the Revolution to our community. The book is chronological with some topics broken out and designed to be easily browsable. Short blocks of text are relieved by illustrations in white space to be more accessible to a wide range of readers. The story is told through primary source documents. This is part of the timeline we built over 2 decades of the primary source documents that are now more easily discovered than they were in the past. Of course, many of them are only in manuscript form, which had to be read and the information extracted. Each new discovery was a wonderful adventure for our volunteers. The manuscript section shown is from the pension application of Azariah Ketchum in 1832. The militia had to wait for pensions until they were very elderly. Many of the men had already died. We found about 100 pensions of the more than 2,000 men who served under Hathorn at one time or another. The stories began to rise from the sources almost immediately when we put them on the timeline, and their context was understood. We discovered that Warwick was a superhost, a major stopping place for all revolutionary travel, that Hathorn and his men were actually at all the major engagements and strategic locations of the mid and lower Hudson, and that a previously forgotten supply depot here was a bottleneck for badly needed supplies for the Continental Army. We also found that the militia traveled great distances and were not merely guarding nearby locations. Families were split apart by divided loyalties. Hathorn, through it all, was serving as a military commander while at the same time actively participating in creating state and local government. One of the most fun discoveries was that once the primary sources were mapped, the Erskine maps of our area became keys to understanding events and people here. Every labeled place or resource now has a known story to go with it. We show that the major themes of the Revolution are all found in our local landscape, that the militia had a far more important role than has ever been appreciated, and that most of our founding veterans had been largely forgotten. The story of the local militias is a rich source to freshen and rediscover the American Revolution as we approach the 250th of the nation. If you have questions or would like to learn more, please feel free to email me at warwickhistory@gmail.com or by calling the Albert Wisner Public Library's Help Desk. The book is available on Amazon and a few local outlets. Thank you.